All right, here is the Step It Out for Wednesday, March 25th. You are now on page 277. So please turn your page to 277. Let's just review that connect to vocabulary. So it says 2 or more fractions that name the same amount are called equivalent fractions. So all those fractions that we were just working on in that the Build for Understanding, all of those fractions were equivalent. 2 or more fractions that name the same amount. They're the same amount. And they're called equivalent fractions. Think about that word equivalent, equal. There's that little word equal in there. It means they're the same, they equal. All right, let's take a peek at the Step It Out. So it says you're going to write an equivalent fraction for half. Compare the rectangle with 2 parts that shows 1/2 in task 1 to the rectangle with the 6 parts you shaded to show half, and complete the equation. So before we were working with those rectangles, we had half, and we said that that half was equal to something over 6. So we know that half of 6 is 3. So 3/6 is equal to 1/2. Okay? How can you use multiplication to describe the relationship between the numerators and between the denominators? So let's think about this. How many, well, let's just review real quickly. Remember, the numerator is the number on the top. It's the how many pieces that are shaded. The denominator is telling us how many parts that we broke that whole into. So our numerator and our denominator. So again, how can you use multiplication to describe the relationship between the numerators? So we're looking at these top numbers. So what is the relationship between the 1 and the 3? Well, the numerator is actually 3 times as many, as the 1. So we know that this is 3 times as many. Let's look at the denominator. The denominator of the denominator 6, this one here, is 3 times as many as it is with the 2, with the half, so with this denominator. So this is 3 times as large, and this is also 3 times larger than the 1. So if we were to look at complete the equation to show how to write a fraction equivalent to a half, look at that equation and how it's set up. So you have well, we talked about that number being 3 times as large as the 1 and 3 times as more as the 2. So we're going to place in our box the number 3. So let's look at this. 3 times 1 equals 3, and 3 times 2 equals 6. So if we were to complete the statement about about any fraction, look at your D. It says complete the statement about any fraction. To write an equivalent fraction, so that means to write an equal fraction, you're going to multiply the numerator and what? Well, this is your numerator. And what? Fill in that blank with what you think that is. To write an equivalent fraction, multiply the numerator and the, if you wrote denominator, you would be correct. To write an equivalent fraction, multiply the numerator and the denominator of the fraction by the same number. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple more examples before I close the video. So, if you were to take 1/2 and you were to multiply it by the same number, 4 over 4, the same number in the numerator and in the denominator. I'm going to choose 4. Let's multiply the numerator first. 1 times 4 equals 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. So this is telling me that 1/2 is equal to 4/8. Let's check that out. 4/8. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's equal. Can you see that? Let's try one more. Let's take that half and we're going to multiply it by, let's multiply it by the same number. We're going to multiply it by 6. See what we get. So same number in the numerator and in the denominator. We are going to get an equivalent fraction to half. Okay. 1 times 6. 2 times 6 is 12. Okay. Different parts, different amounts shaded in, but they are equivalent. Let's check it out. 6 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. You're going to multiply. This is the fastest way, if you will, now that we're getting moving as after using these visuals. This is the way that we're going to create equivalent fractions. Okay. Your mission right now is to log out of here and you're going to answer the question back in Google Classroom. And please don't forget, you need to now go into your HMH and complete the assignment for today, okay, for Wednesday. All right. If you have any questions, please try to communicate that through the Google Classroom, through posting, and I will try to get to your answers as soon as I can. Good luck with this. I know you'll do well.